Good afternoon all. Yesterday we had discussed with the uh, topic that characteristic of the succession. Fine. After the succession, what happened? Let us discuss with the causes of succession. First is a biotic factor. So, in atmosphere, any type of the environmental changes cause the succession. For example, any type of the species living in the particular area. Yesterday I told to you that pioneer species or pioneer community. So the community which is already lived in that area can be replaced by another species. Yesterday I told to you that particular species community is not stable one. Fine. So same way, when environment will be changed, according to that species diversity is also changed. The organism which adapt to the environment as must, that live in that particular habitat only. So if any type of the environmental changes cause the replacement of that particular species, so that is known as biotic factors. Now, physiographic factors in that physiographic factors. It includes climatic factors also. In climatic factor, temperature, soil, water. So here we say that abiotic factors also. Yes, physiographic factors are nothing but the abiotic factors, and along with that some physical factors like soil erosion, soil deposition, landslide, as well as volcanic lava. So this makes area barren. So it destroys the area in such a way that no any type of living organism can exist. So here all the organisms will die, and as you know that the first community live in that area, that is known as pioneer community, and gradually the each and every community will be changed, and at last the stable community, it is known as climatic community, right? So these factors make area barren. Now, types of succession. Primary succession. occur in the barren area where there was no previously any type of the living matter. For example, volcanic lava, igneous rocks, sand dunes, landslide and coral reef. But here you remember that primary succession requires minimum 1000 of years. Second is secondary succession. Secondary succession occurs where vegetation was present previously. Yes, plants were there, but due to natural or artificial cause, that means example fire or flood or sudden change in the climate can cause the secondary succession. Compared to the primary succession, secondary succession is more rapid. So in the grassland area, it requires 50 to 100 years. and in the forest it requires 100 to 200 years. Yes, so next onwards, after the secondary succession, tertiary succession, quaternary succession, and at last climatic community, it takes its place. So this is about the types of succession. Now, hydrosphere, we will take it in detail. Hydrosphere, it is also known as hydrarch. Hydrarch or hydrosphere, it is mostly seen in the newly formed lake or pond. So here we see the stages of it. See, dear all students, please maintain the sequence of these stages. Don't alter it. Fine. So one by one we will check it in detail. Stages of the hydrosphere. So first is phytoplankton stage. Let us discuss in this detail. It's a pioneer community. First, it came in the habitat. First coming minute autotrophic organisms. You know that first of all, phytoplanktons are present in any type of the aquatic habitat. So these are minute and autotrophic organisms. Example, soft mud diatoms, and another this is cyanobacteria. You know that it is a blue green algae, and here in the cyanobacteria, nostoc and enabena included there. Second is rooted submerged stage. You know that submerged means it is present inside the water and the roots are present there. For example, Vallisneria. Third is free floating stages. Free floating stage in that Nymphia, Nelumbria. Okay, free floating stage means the plants are freely float on the surface of the water. Reed swamp stage, also known as amphibian stage. Amphibious stage. Here the most part of these rooted plants remain exposed to air. Little bit portion of the plant is present inside the water. Example, Typha azolla. sedge, meadow stage. Generally, combinedly, we know that it is sedge meadow stage, or we say that marsh meadow stage. Here, some plants are present in the mud. So, example, muddy plants. Okay, muddy plants are seen in the sedge meadow stage. Scrub stage. After that sedge meadow stage, scrub stage. Woody shrubs. Very small plants consist the wood. Tolerates waterlogging. And next is forest stage. Trees are there, oak as well as salix. So these are the stages of the hydrosphere. Now lithosphere. Succession on rocks known as lithosphere. So succession in the newly formed lake or pond known as hydrosphere. So here similarly stages are there. So let us discuss with the stages of the lithosphere. Yes, lichen. Remember, lichen is pioneer on rocks. Lichen is pioneer on rocks. Fine. So crustose lichen, foliose lichen, so many types of lichen are there. So it is pioneer community. So up to right now important points are phytoplanktons are pioneer community in hydrosphere, whereas trees are the climatic community. Fine. So here crustose lichen is the pioneer community. Tolerate desiccation tolerate desiccation, produce organic acid which cause weathering rocks. It forms the upper layer of the rocks. So, first minerals are released for own use. It releases the first minerals for own use. So first stage is known as crustose lichen. Second, foliage lichen stage. Large lichens with leafy thalli. You know that the body of the plants which cannot consist root, stem as well as leaf. So the body of that plant known as thallus, algae, lichen, fine. So here large lichens are there, but with the leafy thalli, leaf-like body is there, so known as foliage lichen. Then moss stage is there. You know that moss and liverworts, these are the two types of the bryophytes. So then moss stage is there, and herb stage. So in herb stage, annual hardy grasses are there. So this hard grass live for 1 year, then shrub stage, and then forest stage. Herbs, then shrubs, then trees. So then forest stage came. So this is about the lithosphere. Now the extra points. Ecology at organismic level. Ecology at organismic level is known as physiological ecology. The activity of keystone species determine the structure of community. Okay, so this is about the succession, types of succession, hydrosphere, lithosphere, all these important points. Now at the end of this chapter, interspecific interactions are given there. Plus, minus, minus, 0, plus, plus, like that. So let us discuss with the topic. Interspecific interactions. So you know that no one species on the earth can live independently. Each and every species has depend to other for food, habitat, reproduction, and so on, etc. First of all, here interspecific interactions are of two types. positive or beneficial interaction. So here member of one or both interacting species benefited but neither is harmed. Example, mutualism, commensalism, proto-cooperation. Whether in the negative interaction antagonism or detrimental interaction. Here, for example, exploitation, commensalism, and competition. So here interspecific interaction in that two types are there. One or more interrelated species got harm. One or more got benefit, but no one get harmed. So mutualism, commensalism, and proto-cooperation, these are the examples of it. And negative interaction in that one or more interrelated species, out of that one or more got harm. No one get benefit. Exploitation, commensalism, and competition are the examples of it. So let us discuss with the mutualism first. Loss plus is there. It is also known as symbiosis. Also known as co-evolution. Also known as coexistence. Also known as co-extinction. All are interconnected together. Fine. Here, mutualism between animal and animal. Two animals are live together and both are benefited in relation. For example, termites and flagellates, okay, also known as trichonympha. Yucca plant flowers, and Pronuba insects. Here this is the symbiotic relationship between the plant as well as animal. In yucca plant, Pronuba insects put their eggs. From eggs, larva comes out. So yucca plant provides the seeds for nourishment to the larvae. And in this way, larvae undergoes the morphogenesis and converted into the adult one. And Pronuba insects are also useful for pollination. So yucca plant cannot live without Pronuba insect. So strong symbiotic relationship. Fine. Another example, lichen. You know that it is the relationship between algae and fungi. I told you earlier that the study of the lichen is known as lichenology, and here in the lichen, algae is phycobiont. Algae is a primitive plant on the earth, and you know that the study of the algae is known as phycology, and study of the fungi known as mycology. So phycobiont and mycobiont. So here algae is autotrophic and fungi is heterotrophic. So lichen is another example of the symbiotic relationship. Fig tree and wasp species. Bees and orchid flower. A leguminous plant, Rhizobium bacteria, symbiotic nitrogen fixing bacteria with the root of the plant. Hermit crab and sea anemone. Glomus species fungi associated with the root of the plant. It is known as mycorrhizae. So this is the first beneficial relationship, that is mutualism plus plus. So this many examples are there.